Hello everyone. So in this lecture, we're going to start diving into a very common question that I've seen just pop up in a bunch of different kinds of threads for the Quantum Reiki community and other Reiki communities, which is, how do we treat a child when it comes to Reiki, right? So one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is like, okay, well, in traditional Reiki, you need to ask permission to heal the person. And obviously, if the person is coming to you, then they have somewhat agreed already that they're going to allow you to manipulate their energy. Now, when you're dealing with children, there's a lot of blank spaces with the child, all right? And I'm going to try to help you understand as much as possible. When you're healing a child, most children are not conscious of their own needs. That's the first thing you have to understand. If it's your child, there is nothing saying that you need your child's permission to be able to do Reiki on them because they are under your care. As the guardian of this child, you must care for the child. And if one of your tools is using Reiki, just like one of your tools being the guardian of this child is taking them to the hospital or giving them aspirin of some sort, that there's no reason why you need to ask your child for permission to do Reiki on them. Now, if it's the child of someone else, then you need to ask the parent permission. And then you need some level of permission because obviously another child is under the guardianship of another adult. So I never work on children that are even in my family unless I ask the parent. Like I have an autistic nephew. I don't start working on my nephew until I ask his parents if it's okay for me to work on him. All right. And most of the time, obviously, they're really chill with me doing it. It's just you have to make sure if it's one of your children, your personal child, you can go ahead and you can do that. Same thing with animals. It's the same concept. On my dog, I can heal my dog whenever I need to heal my dog if I find it fit or my dog asks me to. But for another person's dog, unless the dog was abandoned or in a really disadvantaged situation, I would not heal another dog based off of if it belonged to another owner. Now, some people struggle with, okay, well, how long is that window for me being able to heal a child, right? So I would say when it comes to the ages of about 11, 12, 13, that there's an age gap right there that allows a child to then become more functional within their own reality. So in my QR labs, there was a teenager. She was all of like 13 years old. I had to ask her to do a healing. I couldn't ask her parents to do the healing on her. I just told her parents, hey, if she's interested in doing a healing with me, let her contact me. Here's my number. She reached out. I did the healing on her because she's aware of her needs, right? And she was aware that she was going through depression and she's not really sure how to deal with it. So she wanted to try something different. The same thing will come down to people who are unconscious or people who are on the third dimension, like somewhat handicapped or challenged. If you're dealing with a family member that's in a coma and the person who's in the coma is in need of help, or even a stranger that's in a coma and is in need of help, you are a medicine practitioner. It is your responsibility and is also your choice to use Quantum Reiki wherever it is that it's applicable, all right? So it's really important for you to be like, understanding where it is that you're at with your level of using Quantum Reiki so that you can help other people. If I was walking down the street and I saw someone collapse right in front of me and it was really, really random, I would start using energy work on her and be like, hey, are you okay? Wake up. Hey. Trying to make sure that the energy is flowing through her so she doesn't lose life energy, making sure that she can stay somewhat cognizant, and using whatever intuitively is coming to me to help this person, okay? So yeah, those are some like really key rules right there that I want to tell you about. Like if it's someone else's child, don't heal them without permission. If it's your child, you can heal them up until the ages of 11 or 12, whenever it is that you need to, because you're the guardian. Same thing with your pets. And if for any reason there's someone out and about and it's like an emergency situation, right? There's nothing saying that you need that person's permission, because you are then acting as a high resonating being in your environment that has capabilities that no one does around you. All right, so you have to be like, okay, if you're the only doctor in a group of 50 people, are you going to scream doctor, doctor? No, right? If you feel, even if someone collapses in front of you, you don't have to run up to them and be like, I'm a healer. You don't even have to do that. You can do it from afar. Do distance healing. If other people are taking action, you can still send distance healing to the person and heal them and help them kind of come into some level of understanding with their health, right? You can heal children while you're cuddling with them, just the same way you would heal, an animal if it's a pet. You can heal children while they're doing their own thing. A lot of times I heal children that are, in that really young infant stage. I let them play with their toys and do their thing, or I'll play with them. And while I'm playing with them, I am projecting energy healing, okay? It doesn't always have to be like the child has to be laying down, right? Or sometimes the child will just be in its own little world and I will blast energy that way, okay? You can do a lot of different ways of healing, not only animals but children, but it's important for you to understand these hardcore rules. Especially, like, for instance, there's a lot of gray areas, because if you think about an orphan, all right, a lot of orphans, even though they're under the care of the state, they're not really being cared for by anyone. And under those situations, if there was an orphan that was abandoned, or a homeless person or something, and you see that there's a need, that's why you have this ability. Quantum Reiki is not the same as typical Reiki, because first of all, we're not becoming the medium for the Reiki. Second of all, we're using what's already all around us. So that means that the energy is already somewhat interacting with any other person or being. All you have to do is direct the energy to do a certain action. You always have to remember free will does play into these kinds of opportunities, but every opportunity has a different level of scaling that you have to look at. If it's somebody who is completely like me, aware, you're not going to do energy healing on me unless you get my explicit clearing of saying yes, you can do that, right? But if it's someone who is in a coma for the last 5 years and nothing has been helping them, I would give them energy healing. Here, let me give you energy healing, because who knows, maybe this might work. Maybe this will bring you out of your coma, all right? So this is a quick tip for you to know how to work with your loved ones, with children, with small animals. If no one's claiming them, if there's a serious situation, you got this. I'll see you in the next lecture.